Which means it is time for Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9004. And as someone has pointed out to me today, we've been doing this for now 5 years.
Yes, it was me.
Yeah.
I pointed it out to him.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, just keep in mind, we now have 400 plus episodes of this podcast.
Of absolute shit.
We have 400. We have a minimum of 800 hours of Fanfiction Contempt Theater.
Yeah, honestly.
Fuck yeah.
Where did your life go so wrong, Sneaky?
Where did it go wrong? It
So-
started when he was born in New Jersey.
That he isn't
Testing,
wrong.
testing.
Understandable.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, regrettably.
Excellent.
Wow.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Am I too loud? Should I turn my volume
Okay.
down?
we
No,
have a
no,
lot of
that's
people
just-
in here.
I was gonna say that's just how I act to pretty much every human being. So
Usually
anyway.
somebody's very enthusiastic about me joining. I don't know what happened.
That'd be
Shit's
Arn.
gone down. Yeah.
Anyway, so let us get started tonight with fan fiction. So we got a self-flagellating individual tonight. We got some fucking Leaf in chat, and he wanted us to look at it. And by me saying he wanted it, I'm saying he linked it in a chat that I'm in, and he said, "This is what I've written." I said, "Excellent. I've scheduled you in."
Oh,
And
You have
was he
been
the one I was
voluntold.
encouraging earlier? Was he the person I was trying to encourage earlier?
Yes.
Yes.
So you have.
Oh
So you
boy!
have chosen
Now
death.
our turn to discourage him.
Yes. Well, but now hold on
I
now.
think he's going to be fine.
So, from what I've gathered, he has tried to put a significant amount of effort into knowing both fandoms and properly
good
crossing
sign.
them over.
A good
What
sign.
fandoms?
Warhammer, Fantasy, and Elder Scrolls.
So not 40k?
No,
Sticky.
not
this is
40K.
fantasy.
Sticky.
No,
I'm
but
familiar
can
with
work.
40k, not fantasy.
There really isn't much difference.
Okay. I'm
The real big difference is at some point in the Warhammer Fantasy universe that they didn't ever really talk about, the orcs are not a fungus, which means that the orcs fuck.
However,
There is also
I
one major difference is
however,
that the French still exist.
yes, that too.
That's true.
However,
Disgusting.
the orcs in Warhammer
I've
Fantasy.
never played Warhammer, but I've loved the lore I've heard, especially about the origins of Slaanesh. Hey, let's have a galaxy-spanning murder orgy. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
To be fair, it started with I've been alive for
Too long.
like
years.
10,000 years minimum,
Yeah, effectively.
and you know what? You know what? The bondage won't do it anymore. I need something kinkier, so I'll kill them. And then after a while, that got
It's
boring, so they
Hellraiser.
tried doing it with drugs. And then the
It's
drugs stopped
Hellraiser
working,
across
so
the
they
entire
invented
species.
crazier drugs.
Epic. The
It's
drug,
just
yeah,
Hellraiser on a
fucking race
galactic
war.
Yeah,
level.
effectively. So anyway, his
Yes.
story is called The Vermintide of the 4th Century. So I'm going to give you guys all a guess what this story is about.
The Vermintide of the 4th century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an amazing answer, Arn.
Am I wrong?
No, he's
No.
not
Is
wrong.
Oh, is he not in the video chat?
no,
is
he
our
is.
buddy
He's
not in
here.
the video chat?
Leaf is here.
Oh, who is he? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, there you go.
Done. That's about it.
Hello. We thank you for your generous contribution. We
Even
will
if
now
he is
tear
a
these
thief.
shreds. Fucking leaves.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you for having me.
I'm not that familiar with ancient Skyrim lore aside from the Hists, the alien Hists.
All you need to know
that
is
we
the
saw
wall.
in-
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, there's a little
What?
extra
Filthy
going on.
What?
swits.
So anyway, very classy. You actually managed to secure God Emperor of Mankind as a username. That's very
He
impressive.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made that when I was in high school, and I've locked that down since.
There
So
you go,
what?
thinking
2 years
ahead.
ago, based on the sound of your voice?
Ooh.
No, that's exactly what I'm fucking saying. Like,
Ooh.
Damn.
God is not fair to me when
Burn.
it comes to
Ah,
That was
you're
right.
hot,
No,
come on,
listen
man.
here. I was in that boat. My voice didn't drop till college.
Atin, your voice still
Hello,
hasn't
kitchen.
dropped.
I am a Discord mom.
Let me put it
How
this
old
way.
might you be?
This is the dropped version, Sneaky.
But anyway, let's get on into it. So this is 5 chapters with 13k words, which, as I've made comments before about such things, isn't really the best kind of ratio you want to be going with, as really 2k chapters doesn't leave you much time to set up a scene and then move on from it. However, you know, you got an update rate, so you know that's going for you at least, right?
Shit, that's more than I can say.
Exactly.
So how is the title and description? I think that's what we usually start with,
I think we'll get to that, yeah. Looking to escape the meddling reach of the Council of 13, Scritch, leader of Clan Nalmak, builds a portal that will bring them to a distant land, away from their influence. However, this gate brings them not to a new land, but to a new world entirely, Tamriel. Facing the unknown, Scritch only sees opportunities to found his own under-empire. Can this new world repel the Vermintide? Honestly,
Is this a
I was gonna say,
rat you take,
believe it or not, do you want? I actually feel sorry for the Skaven. If for no other reason than because the marshes exist.
yes,
and
that's so.
Again,
The
we've
hiss.
said it before,
Yeah,
but the lizards got invaded and
Yeah.
counter-invaded the demon realm. So the demon realm went, we're just gonna close those gates.
Epic.
Yeah, I
Let me
haven't even
Let me
touched
just go
Black
and
Marsh
close
yet.
that.
I'm like
Hey,
I'm
Nose, you
still
wanna shut the
trying
fuck
to
up so Leaf
figure
can
out
talk?
exactly how it works before I even
Mhm.
write about the Skaven moving in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really tricky to make it simple. There's a bunch of sentient trees that are probably tied to the people who created the world, and
And all
they
the trees are
basically.
tied together. That's another
I
key
would say
point.
all the trees are tied together, and they put like I don't know,
Okay.
essentially fungal spores into every lizard born there.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's life.
And for some reason, those lizards have boobs.
It's because
Some of them do.
The hist provides. The hist
Don't
provides
ask
the
too many
needs.
questions.
Don't ask too many questions. The hist provides.
Look, the guy who wrote the lore for Elder Scrolls literally did it on a fucking drugs binge.
Okay, but no, but like
Yeah.
seriously though, for like the actual reason as to why they have boobs sometimes is because only in the Black Marsh do Argonians lay eggs.
That
They give live birth outside the Black Marsh.
I thought it was just. I think it was determined that it was just aesthetic reasons. I think they still lay eggs outside of the Black Marsh.
No, they don't.
just-
Nope.
no.
Yeah, no,
Yep, but crack
don't, like I
cocaine.
said, drug binge.
Yeah, the drug
Retcons
the
and
drug
drug binge.
binge was real.
The power of MDMA.
The power of
I
cocaine.
have a friend, Chris Beckloff, who does a podcast. I just visited him today in person.
There you go.
He treated me to lunch. It was pretty great.
Yep.
One of his fans keeps super chatting him, or not super chatting, whatever the other one is.
Yeah,
like
right.
excerpts from the Lusty Argonian.
Oh.
Oh
Hmm.
god.
Lusty Argonian maid.
Okay,
Yes.
first off, that's
And he's
actually
just gonna-
a really funny series.
It is. And Chris just keeps reading them. It's like, hey, he paid me, and he's just gonna read it from beginning to end. Apparently, he's gonna keep on sending money until Chris
Yeah, you know,
finishes
like
reading it
look,
live.
I have the exact same attitude of, you know, if you want to pay me money to read this, that's your money.
Oh, and if any of you watch Revenge of the Sis, Chris, my buddy Chris Beckloff, he's the one who sends all of the trolley super chats for them to read. Like when Blair White, somebody called Blair White, messaged him and said, Royce, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, God.
Little weird.
All right. So let's get
Sorry.
into it.
Also, by the way, listen, I fully understand the people who pay streamers to do things they don't want to do. Because I paid someone $100 to play Fire Emblem, and he's like, "Why are you doing this? You know I don't want to play this." I was like, "You put a price on it, and it's
You
really
put-
about spite at this
Oh.
point."
You made a
That
price
was a
point.
mistake.
And so now
Oh.
You
I
made a
must
price
read it.
point that was within my affordability range. Now that my student loan is much closer to being paid off.
What was your major? I'm sorry, I don't want to get too distracted. Never mind. Ignore that question.
Business.
Yeah,
You dumb
ironically,
motherfucker. Continue.
business.
Business is literally an MBA in business is literally one of the best majors. I can go anywhere.
Anyway, so to cover the summary, it's not great. It's not bad though. Don't get me wrong. By no means is it anywhere near the bad tier of summary we've seen on here. This summary hasn't told us anything that isn't going to be explained within the first chapter, assumedly.
And it's useless to anybody who doesn't know the lore front to back.
But you know, at
Like
this
me.
point, why are you reading this specific story if you don't know the lore? You know.
Fair enough.
Because the whole premise of this story is a very specific lore interaction between two factions that are heavy lore in their series.
I also appreciate that he picked the only group that could realistically get out of the Warhammer universe, and it's like, how? Portals.
Warpstone. Yep.
Well, I mean, they did it
Fuckery.
before.
Alcohol.
The word that I want to use.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think right now. The Warhammer universes are so overpowered, but there are certain individual things in the Skyrim universe that are stupidly
there's
more
a lot
overpowered.
of things in the Skyrim universe that is very
Elder Scrolls, sorry.
yeah. It's
That
very
is very broken.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think here's the thing: your average Warhammer fantasy or 40k individual will be stronger than your average Skyrim individual, but the absolute
That really depends. Imperial Guard versus
hold
the
on.
average
Let me
Nord.
finish, Sneaky. Let me finish. Your top shelf
No,
of
you said average. I'm
Elder
disputing
Scrolls.
average. The
Here's the thing:
average-
I really don't think.
Let him
At the
say his
moment.
opinion. We can disagree with it after.
And I'm saying though is the average Nord definitely is stronger than the average Imperial Guardsman.
The guardsmen have guns. Your point is invalid. Continue, Brian.
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say.
fair enough. Yes, guns do kind of end up beating things in general.
Wow, really? No
But-
way.
You know,
Continue. What were you about to say? The top tier in Elder Scrolls is just blows the shit out of the top tier in Warhammer.
Oh, absolutely.
What was it? The God of Dreams? Well, I remember watching some lore video on that. Like, holy shit, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's way too
Also,
overpowered.
there's also Akatosh, the God of Time, who can just be like, "Hey, you, specifically you in particular, you don't exist within time anymore, so you're gone." It's like, oh,
Yep. It to
See,
be like
that'll-
that
Has
sometimes.
rejected
You
your
no longer
presence.
exist.
By which I mean
Okay.
I have rejected your presence.
well then, they're just gone.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days.
Swiggity swoogity. You don't existity.
Also, technically speaking, Alduin is supposed to be able to defeat the entire world and consume it. Supposed
There are
to
planet
be.
busters in the Warhammer universe.
Oh, I know, but you know, you know, because you're the main character, so technically you're supposed to be able to beat him.
Wait. For clarification, this is Warhammer Fantasy, not 40k, right?
Correct.
Yes, it's
yeah.
fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I really
I hope I
don't
didn't
think
make the wrong
there's any like even average to average in fantasy to
Yeah,
Skyrim.
it's fantasy.
Yeah, hands down. Elder Scrolls wins average to average, top end to top end.
Bullshit. I disagree.
Fantasy?
I disagree. Oh, fantasy. I don't know much
Yeah,
about
fantasy.
Warhammer
You know,
Never mind.
fantasy. Because the
It's a
average guy
different
in
thing.
fantasy is literally a dirty peasant with no access to magic.
Okay. I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about Warhammer 40k.
No, fantasy. Because this is a fantasy to fantasy story. This isn't a side.
Sure,
take a
but
wrong
like
turn
your
again.
average Skaven. Here's the thing: your
Your
average
average
Skaven.
Skaven's a Skaven slave or a clan rat, and literally, your average peasant farmer is able to kill a clan rat.
Yeah,
in fantasy.
the main advantage that Skaven have are numbers.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah.
just not
But that's what I'm
playing
saying.
fair.
Like these
I mean, I
things
was
have
gonna
never
say they-
fought. I guess you know what? I was probably wrong. I'll admit it.
I was
thinking
it's
Warhammer
numbers and
40K.
also
No, no.
fucking Gatling guns. Let's talk about that for a
Okay,
second.
but that-
No,
that-
but that's
That's
we were s-
technically not like outside of Total War, technically only Clan Skyer really has access to those.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Just like how Clan Molder really only has access to the abominations and rat ogres and whatnot.
It's a constant game of schemes and promises that allow them to actually use those if they're part of a different clan.
I'm sorry, my brain was on Warhammer 40k.
Yep.
I'm like, everything in there is so overpowered, but I'm pretty sure some of the gods of the Elder Scrolls just blow it all out of the water.
Yes. Like the Big E is impressive, but the Big E cannot delete people from time.
The Big E is effectively Talos, let's be real here.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So anyway, Scritch Gutcutter coughed. The air in his personal lair was choked with smoke and agitated dust indeed. Okay.
It's a little strange, but
Yes.
The
I
entire
think he's going for
warren
rhyming.
of Clan Nalmak was filled with no, I know it's dust dash indeed. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean. Entire warren of Clan Nalmak was filled with omnipresent smog. His ears
Sure,
twitched
that isn't facing in
in
there.
anger at the news he had received from Skaven Blight. The council was demanding more tribute, more clan rats to fill their meat grinder instead of his own. Scritch hated the council with a burning passion, their constant meddling in his affairs, taking more than what they deserved from the great murder lord Scritch. He had ever been given the chance, he knew that he could easily surpass the worthless wretches of Clan Moors, and even become one of the great Skaven clans, but the council constricted and confined him to his meager position. To make matters worse, he had heard rumors of the surrounding clans were plotting to destroy everything Scritch had built. He cursed himself for not slaughtering the weaklings sooner. Naturally, he blamed his incompetent retinue for poisoning his mind against starting war against his neighboring clans, and was relieved to hear the news of their departure as food for the Skaven slaves. Sorry.
Question. Are these rat people?
Yes.
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 So effectively,
That's the
think
impression.
Yeah, they're rat people.
New York
They are not
rats,
men.
except hunched over and the size of a small child.
How about Arx
Yeah,
Fatalis?
The
New York
large
rats,
child.
basically.
Yeah.
Are they like the
actually-
rats?
They're similar to the rats in Arx Fatalis.
If you haven't
except
played
they're-
Arx Fatalis, you're wrong. Go play it. Continue.
The way that I like to write the Skaven is they're rat people, but they're all, as a rule, they all have a superiority complex, and they're manic as fuck.
Yes, and yeah.
Yes.
that's pretty much it.
I was gonna say they're all he is correct. They all have a superiority complex. They're all manic, and the terrifying thing is, in some ways, that superiority complex is deserved because theoretically, if you leave a Skaven alone long enough in an environment where it can get food, it will rapidly become the apex predator.
Like
Food and
the only thing
Warpstone.
holding
Warpstone is
the
key to
only
that.
thing
Key to that.
No, they don't.
a,
But Sneaky, like look at for an example, is it Scritch? Scritch, right? He doesn't.
Right.
He didn't use Warpstone to get strong. He just murder hoboed his way to the top.
That's okay. That's fair enough. Yeah. It's yeah, fair enough.
Does Murder Hobo originate from somewhere, or just that D&D story from YouTube?
It's mostly from D&D, I believe, because typically players are considered homeless, and they really resort to murder as a solution very often, so they're nicknamed murder hobos.
That's funny.
And the playstyle kind of just grew as games became more prominent. And
Well, it was a
know.
combination of people not having it was a combination of that guy in games
Yeah.
and the genre getting bigger, so that people eventually got to the point where everyone knew at least one time that guy had just murder hoboed his way through the campaign.
Queek is a proper thing of Skaven biology just working. Yeah, that's fair enough.
He's
What is Cleek?
absolutely fucking insane.
Queek.
I'm guessing these are characters I should know.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're kind
Continue.
of like clan leaders and whatnot.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, anyway, so, yeah. Sorry, Murder Lord. We are ready to prepare you for your nest lair for moving. So you actually got Skaven speak correctly. Nice job.
Yep.
The speaker was a meek clan rat at the entrance to Scritch's lair. Without a word of reply to the weaklings, he waved them in, where they wasted no time collecting prized artifacts and trophies for the great migration that was about to occur. He chuckled to himself. Scritch was reminded of the secret project that his clan had been constructing for many years. Thousands of loose ends and fodder were sacrificed to keep news of his great invention from reaching Skaven Blight. The Skittergate. His whiskers twitched in anticipation for the activation of his secret project. The Skittergate would allow for Clan Nalmak to expand their influence without the constant meddling of the Council of 13. A portal would lead Clan Nalmak to somewhere they could build undisturbed, and without the Council's knowledge, they would not pester and limit his ambitions. The Warrens
Two
of Clan...
things. Is the Council of 13 also rat people?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
okay.
all rat.
The
Everyone's rat
Council of
people.
13 is
Except their
12 of the most powerful Skaven clans, and also their god is given a ceremonial seat.
All right. And so far, the grammar and spelling is on point. Good work.
Yes. Yeah.
That was it. was it.
Also, their god's actually just a giant rat. It's not a rat
Yeah,
person.
it's,
It's just a giant rat.
Yeah, it's called the Great Horned Rat.
Is it
He's
horny?
very ratty. I really get like.
Rat.
There's really not much to say about the Great Horned Rat. It's a big rat.
You really can't say
He
anything
shows
else
up
other than big
You mean he
rat.
sh-
He is
I mean,
the
he shows
biggest.
up pretty often. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
frequently enough
just-
that like he came in and ate one of the Council of 13 members when they were fucking around too much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
This is an aside.
Yeah.
Crossover with Jackie Chan, the talisman is a rat, and the other talismans let loose in this universe. That'd be pretty cool.
That would kind of be funny.
What did the rat do? Was the rat in invisibility?
Something about either invisibility or sneaking.
I think it was either invisibility or the ability to become incorporeal.
Something like that, yeah.
Was
Man,
the
Or was it?
that was
Faster.
a fucking series.
Oh wait, no, wrong. I think the rat was the ability to make inanimate things animate.
Maybe.
Oh,
I know that was a
Somebody
great
Google it.
show, and I wish it had been longer.
It's only been like, what, 17 years since I've seen that? Jesus fucking Christ.
Somebody Google that for me because I'm driving. Thank you.
Please never say it's been 17 years since you've watched Jackie Chan again, please.
You were right. The rat talisman is like animating inanimate objects.
Yes. It was the
Okay.
snake that was the chicken was incorporeal. I think the snake was invisibility. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
I thought it was the ram that was astral projection.
The ram? I'm not sure. I don't remember at all.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm
so
looking at the
Skittergate. His whiskers twitched in anticipation. The Skittergate would allow for Clan blah blah blah, Clan Lomac blah 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 blah. Only precious few knew of the Skittergate. Its reveal planned only to those when they were beginning their departure. The clan rats who asked too many questions were dispatched with efficiency. Scritch's ears twitched as he heard the familiar sound of heavy reverberating footsteps echoing down the tunnel leading to his chambers. He stood in front of his seat and anxiously awaited for a figure to appear. Extra space right there. Skak, his chief warlock engineer. Skak covered himself in the characteristic metal plating of the warlock engineer. A large cumbersome metal tank was affixed to the suit's back, which was connected through a complex series of tubing to various parts of his body. His gunmetal mask covered the entirety of his face, and with warpstone energy surging through his suit, projected out of the glass eye sockets, making them appear as though radiant green orbs. He wore a great rounded gauntlet on his left hand, which glowed with the same familiar green as his eyes. His fingertips cracked with warp energy, prepared to surge from his hand at any moment. In his right hand, he wore a much more form-fitting gauntlet, which projected long, serrated razor claws. The rest of his body was hidden from beneath a thick, dull gunmetal robe. Warlord Sketch, the Skittergate will be ready working soon. Our clan waits for your signal.
So is this race also in 40k?
No, they are actually
No.
one of the
Okay.
few races that
No,
aren't
no, it
40K.
Technically, yes. I don't know.
Technically, yes, but no, because they're just an abhuman. They're the
They're just a what?
ratling.
No, the Ratlings
human.
are the hobbits.
Yeah,
No.
The name is confusing, but in 40k, the Ratlings are just hobbits.
Yeah.
No, isn't there like rat people somewhere
No.
under Terra? I don't exactly if that was canon or not.
It's been decanoned.
No.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, no, Skaven aren't in 40k anymore.
Oh.
There's something similar, but the Strixie? Hold on, let me look that up.
Yeah, a lot of the extraneous gods have been decanoned. So
Some of those
Hornrat's
were
not
cool
there.
when I heard about them.
Oh yeah, no, some of them were really cool. Personally, I
really
like
like
the fifth Chaos God.
That's the one I was thinking of.
I'm a
The
personal
fifth
fan
Chaos
of the fifth
God,
Chaos
and
God.
I love everything to do with orcs.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
I
sort
love the orcs.
yeah, Strixies are sort of not really. Yeah, they're not rat. They're not. No, never mind. They're not rats. They aren't technically rats.
Yeah, they're not technically rats.
Are they actually mice? Or chinchillas?
No, the Ratlings are weird. Because in 40k, it's like we want to fit as many of these things as we can, but we don't have a good way to include them. So the Ratlings are quote unquote a tolerated abhuman strain, which means they used to be humans and they are definitely not human anymore.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
they've,
So they're the
they've
ones who are at the
evolved.
bottom of the pile of the hive cities. And they got fucked up by all the shit they have to wade through.
Not necessarily just that, but
It's like if humans colonize a certain world and then they evolve to like suit that planet better, then they become an abhuman.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, you don't tell a Cathian that they're abhuman because they'll probably gut you.
I don't know.
no,
Yeah.
because they have varying levels of it. So the Katakan are technically still people. Like they're close enough to human.
I know. Basically, it's a jungle world where the entire world is the Brazilian
Oh.
rainforest, and
Yes,
so
I've
everyone
seen that.
on
On
there is
steroids.
like omega
Text-to-speech.
muscled. Yeah, yeah.
And I saw that. I remember seeing about that in the text to speech.
Like one of their trials of adulthood is you have to go out and kill a bear 3 times your size with your own hands.
Base.
Cool. Oh, and could you remind me about the fifth Chaos God? I remember liking it, but I don't remember anything
Yeah,
about it.
Malal, the fifth Chaos God, who's anti-chaos.
He technically doesn't exist.
Yes.
Well, he doesn't
decannoned
exist in the
him.
40k universe.
Yeah, they've decannoned
I mean,
him.
it's actually canon that he doesn't exist.
Oh, it's canon that he doesn't exist now? Okay.
Well,
No, I mean, what was the canon before?
He will exist, but he doesn't exist at the moment.
It's like weird that he's basically in. Hold on, I need to find out the
He's
actual. lore.
Basically, his
What?
lore is that when he starts existing, he brings an end to chaos. Also, to mostly everything else, too.
Kaboom.
Because he's a god of chaos who's anti-chaos and gets stronger the more he hates chaos. And so you have to worship chaos to hate chaos.
Which to be
Oh,
fair,
I get the point. I get the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
He is intentionally a logical impossibility intended to destroy the universe.
Yeah, basically. He's a time bomb.
and
He's a
because of the way
paradox.
certain things have shaken out in the 40k universe, there are absolutely currently existing bands of traitor marines that 100% fall under that, including
Sons
I'd
of
say probably
Malice.
50% of the Night Lords,
Yeah.
Fabius Bile,
Alpha Legion, maybe.
maybe some of the Alpha Legion.
I mean, look,
The Alpha Legion's the Alpha
if there
Legion.
is anything that exists in 40k, Alpha Legion involvement, probably yes.
That's only because they literally just are worse than the fucking magpies when it comes to stealing shit.
Was the Alpha Legion here? Probably.
The Alpha Legion, in fact, is probably also posing as the Carcadon Astra, just out in the middle of nowhere.
Probably.
Are the Carcadon Astra the ones that go, all is dust?
No, they're the shark ones.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Brother, artifacts are missing. Who was it? The magpies or the Alpha Legion? We
Or
don't
was
know.
it the Carcadon Astra?
Anyway, so. Waste no time.
Carcadon
Stack.
are loyal
This
by
clan has
XP.
pick-packed everything. Yes, yes. Yes, hastily. Happy, please. Talk, tell. Your preparations are complete. Man, I actually have to give you kudos here, because it is annoying as fuck to write Skaven.
You've written Skaven sufficiently that I'm annoyed. Good job.
Actually, I kind of find it charming.
It is charming to a certain level, but like just sitting there like having to write the like talk, talk. It's like, oh, fucking just shoot myself.
Okay, as writing, I'm sure I'd hate it, but listening to it or reading it, I'm enjoying it.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
it's great. No.
It's well written. It's absolutely fitting the Skaven mold. I just fucking despise the Skaven and want to introduce all of them to the majesty of Balthazar
Holy
Gel's
flame.
rocket artillery.
This is only because he's lost campaign to Skaven, by the way.
Holy
Total
flame.
No, I haven't lost campaigns to the Skaven. I just hate it because every time I'm like, you can't burn cities behind you to get rid of them because the Skaven just show up and you're like, did they settle it?
Yeah,
Did
you
they
have
not?
to
I don't
settle
know.
every fucking city, or the Skaven just show up and fucking colonize it. It's like, oh my god.
Shalom.
No, fuck off.
I do love
Oy
the
vey.
lore bits that they've added to the
Oy vey.
Skaven in Total War, where every faction
wrong.
can have the trade buildings, like like the timber and stone and gold and whatnot. But the flavor text for the Skaven for them is fucking hilarious. Like for the gold, Skaven don't like gold and they don't need gold, but they know that it pisses the humans off, so they mine it all wherever they are.
That's pretty good.
Genius.
Well, it's like, as an example, I'm trying to think of who else.
There's also gemstones one, where precious gemstones are mere trash cutting tools to Skaven, where the real prize is warpstone. They are discarded shortly after.
Well, like, as an example of stuff that other factions do that make, like, when the orcs mine gold, they do it because they know the dwarves want it.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. That's the other
Pretty
spite
much,
one.
yeah.
Fuck the dwarves. We're taking this even though we don't use it.
Or as they would say it, fuck the stunties.
Yes.
Whatever the fuck.
Fuck
They
the
call orcs
stunties.
stunties? I'm sorry,
Yes.
dwarves
They
stunties?
call dwarves
Yes.
stunties. Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
Also, they're called. Actually, I think we're
I
even
mean-
pronouncing it wrong. It's dwarfs. It's not dwarves. It's dwarfs. Or something
Anyway,
like
so-
that.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
what
It's
is
fair
the
enough.
like,
I mean, like
trademarked
every
the,
single
F.
orc is like 7 to 8 feet tall, and they just get bigger from there. So calling dwarves, which reach what 4 or 5 feet maybe, stunties is like, okay, you know what? That's that's fair enough.
Oh, this is a one-way street. I'm fucked.
That
Continue.
sounds like life in general.
Never mind. It's not a one-way street. I'm wrong.
That sounds like
The
boss-
sign is lying. The sign is lying.
That
Kinda
sounds
that
like
sign
life
that
in
said
general.
No tolls was lying. I'm near the Washington D.C. area, just driving
Oof.
south towards Florida.
Oh,
Are
FBI
you
is on its
driving
tail.
to start a riot?
No, I'm driving to Florida. I had to drive through to
To
visit my
start a
buddy
riot.
Ben. He just treated me to.
I was gonna say, are
Yeah,
you
must
driving
start
to
a riot.
Florida to start a riot?
No, I'm just gonna go meet some girlies, go sit on the beach,
They
enjoy
start
the
a
sun,
riot.
kill some
Riot.
pythons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill some
Yep.
pythons and maybe some iguanas because they're a hazard to the world.
Yeah, they are.
beach riot
As an
time.
extremely aged Skaven adorned in burlap robes approached them, Master Molder Brick appeared from the shadows, a cadre of assistants. Description of
Kinda
Brick, followers were disheveled. Promise of operating on creatures across the gate made Brick align with Scratch. Alright, so you even got a reason as to why a Molder clan member would be aligned with Scratch. Alright,
He
so-
wants to operate on people.
Yes, live vasectomies.
Okay, so the Skaven are simultaneously tiny little murder hobos and tiny little mad scientists.
I love it.
Yeah,
They are
fantasy of. I mean, keep in mind, this is fantasy. Fantasy, as in like everyone is using bows and arrows, and like only the Empire, one specific part of the Empire, figured out how gunpowder works recently.
no. Let's be clear. The Empire didn't figure it out. The dwarves told them.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
the dwarves taught them shittier
So the
designs of their own
dwarves are
stuff.
Yeah.
Also,
so
some
dwarves
of the
are supposed
Empire
to be
has
the Chinese.
But anyway,
The
so-
dwarves
Oh, that
are
makes sense.
some of the biggest dicks in the fantasy universe
So the
because
Skaven
they have
straight up.
they have literal helicopters, but they're like,
Yeah.
nah, the humans aren't ready for that. We are being murdered by vampires and Skaven 24/7.
And orcs. And
We're worried you might abuse the power of
and
flight.
elves.
As much as I'm probably gonna say this, the dwarves are actually kind of similar to like a lot of stereotypes of the Jewish people, mostly because they will literally just fucking walk up to a city, smash it to pieces, burn it to the ground, all because they left a piece of gold there.
Damn.
Yeah.
What did
So
he mean by
anyway,
this?
now that Nosehair is done being anti-Semitic, let's keep going.
No, I'm Jewish. He's allowed to.
Technically, he's also partially Jewish, so.
Yeah,
And we've
he's one of
heard
the chosen people.
Anyway,
It
so
is-
as I was saying,
the way.
Shut up.
Go ahead.
just the Skaven in the fantasy world have nuclear bombs, flamethrowers, Gatling guns,
What guns?
Gatling guns. And
They
No,
they just have-
rattling guns.
yeah.
Rattling guns.
Yeah, they
No, that's literally their name in canon. I wish it
know.
wasn't.
Literal miniguns that they carry around. They don't even have to deploy them. They just like have a 2-person team carrying around ammo
Yeah,
and
it's a
gun.
crank
It's
operated
like
gun.
if Hitler's buzzsaw was in fantasy universe.
Like
is
a
the
Maxim.
funniest
Hitler's
shit
buzzsaw.
Mm,
I'm
if
sorry,
it's,
did
if
you
it's
just say Hitler's buzzsaw? I've never
Yeah, he
heard of
did.
that.
It's
then
a-
G
That's
42.
G42.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, except if it's hand cranked, then it's more of a fucking Maxim,
Yeah,
or the actual Gatling gun.
which is why it's
I'm
called
sorry,
a
I'm a
Gatling gun.
huge nerd about mega weapons of World War One and Two, from the Paris gun especially, but I've never heard of Hitler's
It's
machine
a-
gun? What?
Literally the
42.
the
Hitler's
most used
buzzsaw
machine
is a
gun.
nickname.
Yeah,
Did somebody just say
MG42.
they've never heard of the Paris gun?
No.
no.
Make
No.
sure you're wearing loose pants before googling it, so your erection doesn't break anything.
Counterpoint.
It's an
Schrager
amazing-
stuff.
What do you say? You're forgetting the gun that what was that
railroad gun.
crazy the oil magnet
Yeah.
tried to make? What was it? The Tower of
Yeah, that was
What a fucking
the
Chad
thought it
name
wasn't
for a
finished
gun.
because we
Tower
kept
Bell
bombing the shit
gun
out of it.
thing.
Yeah, we did.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I could have
I
sworn
mean,
it
to be
wasn't
fair,
finished.
it's all of Germany.
Okay,
So, you
to
know.
be fair though, we kind of did just flatten Germany. Literally
Tristan.
with
Yeah.
bombs.
We also stole all of their scientists.
Yeah, we tried.
Thanks, NASA.
We tried really
We tried
hard.
to.
Does it
Sounds
count as a
very cool.
cultural victory if you steal all of their scientists?
It counts
Yeah,
as
technically,
scientific
yes.
victory.
Hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, told you to go quick. Well, I was sneaking and it was hard. I had to wait for the right time, and Sketch was like, "Fuck, guy, this guy's excuses make me angry." Where is Quick hiding? Where is Yermak? Yermak is about to start the ritual. No one's seen Quick. And Scritch was grumbling to himself, and outside the scene was chaotic as everyone was packing everything they could ever need up and getting ready to leave. Yada yada yada. Burrows were destitute. They managed to keep the Skaven off the path of incoming traffic. Gargantuan circular structure. Skitch's spirits was raised upon seeing it. It was the Skittergate. It was a gate through reality. Warp stone all over it. Rituals. Quick the assassin and his cadre of gutter runners had arrived. Quick. Also, that's another thing I love about Skaven is their gutter runners. It's like, hey, we found orphans. Let's gonna train them to be assassins, and whoever like doesn't get killed by assassinations, gets upgraded to assassin.
Based.
It's like, oh,
We
okay.
should do
It's
that
like-
with real orphans.
Okay, but like the most base things about them is the Hell Pit abominations.
What
So
are the
we're
Hell
gonna
Pit
take
abominations?
some rats and we're just gonna torture the fuck out of them.
Not just rats. They kind of just take giant piles of bodies and torture them and torture them and torture them, while also shoving warpstone into every single point they can. And then sometimes the giant pile of bodies gets up and becomes an abomination.
Yeah.
And then you
which is,
can send it to explode upon your enemies.
too terrible.
So they're
to die
torturing corpses?
Yes. Don't
yeah,
worry, it
and
works.
then bringing them back to life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't worry, it's covered in the Geneva Convention.
Don't worry, it works.
Oh no, listen, there's no such thing as the Geneva Convention in fantasy.
The Skaven Convention.
If you're not
Oh,
committing
I like that.
conventions, if you're not committing war crimes, you're doing something wrong.
The
I'm going
Skaven,
to use that
no,
quote
it's like
sometime.
Skaven-
Don't worry,
the
it
Skaven-
works.
The Skaven
Don't worry, it
Convention
works,
is
yes.
literally
Good.
just it's literally just like a piece of paper and written on it is say do whatever the fuck you want.
Hey,
You
did you
gotta
just make
do.
that up, by the way? The don't worry, it works? Did you
Yes,
just make that up?
I did.
I am stealing that. I'm going to use that at every opportunity.
I feel like that's Sneaky's like catchphase almost.
It
Why
kind of
are you
is.
doing
Don't
this?
worry.
I've done it enough in Dota with you. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. What
Don't
the
worry,
fuck are you
it
doing?
works.
It works!
And then
Don't
we
worry,
lose
it
because our team throws after you die like once.
Yeah, effectively.
Because you are our only damage.
Don't worry, it works. I just
Why did
imagine
you buy
somebody
19
saying that.
tangos? But don't worry. It works.
No.
You okay? Hold on a minute. That's a lie. You
No.
have never bought 19
Okay, I
recovery
lied.
items
I bought
in your
19
entire
mangoes.
career. Yeah.
No, he
Yeah.
actually did buy
Don't
19
give me that.
tangos once. He bought 19 tangos on Nyx. We lost.
Yeah, we lost that one.
We lost because you were just like, I have infinite regen. How could we lose this rant lane? And then they just kept fucking hitting you, and like you didn't have enough regen. Because you didn't seem to understand that tangos are a limited resource and only heal you for so much every fucking
Shut the
second.
fuck up.
No. I'm still mad about it. I'm still mad at you. I'm venting because of what happened. Whatever. Continue the fucking story.
Yes, indeed. So, anyway, so the assassin looks like an assassin. Skidate's about to arrive. Let's go. Begin the ritual. Warp lightning is everywhere, and giant miasma of green energy became more concentrated. Everything's shaking, and then the warp gate opens. Bolts of lightning just, shooting out of the gate, just striking random Skaven and exploding them.
Are you glossing over, or is that how it's written?
Oh, I'm glossing over. Yeah, we've spent like an
Okay.
hour on this now, so
Hello.
I'm accelerating through.
It's been 40
By the way,
minutes,
that's not
actually.
out of. We've spent an hour on this and we don't hate it.
Yeah,
like
no,
that's
it's-
quite rare for
Yeah.
this stream.
That's kind of like how my first stream with them went. We just kept getting sidetracked, not because we hated the thing, but because it got people talking. If your story gets people talking and learning, like with
Yeah.
me, I'm
Like-
learning more about Warhammer. You've done a good job.
Warhammer Fantasy is so fucking funny.
The only problem with Warhammer Fantasy is that the French exist.
Yeah, but the French are like
Great, the
abusive
French
black
exist
comedy.
because I can kill them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hey, hold on, man. The French are fighting the Egyptians. Like, come on. Give them...
The Egyptian undead, by
Napoleon
the way.
lives.
Huge compliment to the
Napoleon
writer. I
moment.
forgot your name.
Leaf.
I've never heard anything about this race, but just from you writing them, I was like, are these rat people? I'm getting the feeling that these are rat people. Is that what they are? And everyone's like, yes, that's exactly what they are. So you've done, even without describing what they looked like, I knew what they looked like. You've done that amazing tightrope act as a writer.
Yeah, there you go. There's your compliment.
Yes. I'm giving out a lot
It's
of
the only one you'll be getting today.
Yeah.
So make it
The
count.
doors to the mustering ground opened, and a constant wave of clan rats flooded the open ground, many stopping to marvel at the magnificent gate before them. Horns sounded, and he gave his speech. All the Skaven are roaring, waving their crude weapons in the air. Listen, follow, get rich, go through the Skaven gate, crush all you find, build our city, leave no survivors. Scamper, scurry, go, 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 slaughter for Skaven. And then all the Skaven flooded through the Skitter gate, and the supplies followed, and the breeders were dragged from their dens and brought through. Neighboring clans were sure to have noticed the earthquake and would come to investigate. He wanted to find nothing but an empty warrens. Finally, Skitch and his retinue gathered and began to descend to the mustard grounds themselves. There was much to do once they reached the other side. Alright, so you, like Rance here, actually know how to end a first chapter. Even though it was a little bit on the short side, you still managed to convey everything that you need to normally convey in a first chapter, which is specifically hooking the people, explaining what's going on and why, and introducing any of the main characters that are going to be important.
We haven't learned shit about what's going on in the Elder Scrolls, though.
You want to turn off the fucking
haven't.
reverb?
Please
No,
get out of the window.
Who had the reverb on?
I'm sorry, I was in the bathroom.
Thank God it wasn't
Okay,
me for
listen.
once.
I genuinely thought you put a reverb filter on.
Oh, no, I was in the bathroom. I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
I just reached
look,
the
There's a
rest area I'll
vacant
be
bathroom.
sleeping at.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Kind of
I was saying, listen, I'll give this show the highest mark of respect we can on this. The highest mark of respect we can on this show. I'll read more of it.
Yeah, I'll probably end up reading more of it myself. Well, yes, we
You know what?
didn't
Fuck
really...
it. Send me a link.
I did. It's on the
It's
Discord.
in our Discord.
All right. I've never really been in this fandom, but sure, fuck it. I'll read it.
So now, yes, the good key point was brought up. Elder Scrolls was not brought up in this. But, however, my counterpoint to that was that this is not a mesh story. This is a literal crossover. As in, the Skaven are literally crossing over into another fandom. But it's also Skaven-centric and from the Skaven point of view. So I will give that a pass because it is all from the Skaven point of view. So, of course, it would be more from the Warhammer Fantasy side of the story.
It would have been interesting if the Skaven had been helped in some way by certain individuals in the Elder Scrolls universe.
Hmm.
Some people that might like to cause chaos.
No.
There is two protagonists in the story.
Mhm.
There's a high elf, like there's Scritch, and then
Right.
there's a high elf who's like
Fucking hell.
supposed to be the hero, quote unquote, of the story.
Right.
He's
So
an
it
elf.
takes
You've
place
already
for
lost
both
me.
like the Skaven and the Elder Scrolls perspective, and it alternates
Elves are the
between
future
chapters.
fantasy.
All I'm saying is, I do hope the Skaven lose
Alright,
because
so...
no universe deserves to get Skavened.
Yeah, that's fair. So I actually have comments on that one because Gray and I had a lot of debate on a story we ended up not doing in the end. But Gray and I had a lot of debate on how to handle the multiple point of views of multiple main characters that were either on opposite sides or had completely separate scenes from each other. In the end, we ended up including both points of view with each chapter to cover what happened in that same time period. Because typically, when you have multiple chapters, I know George R.R. Martin does this, where he splits everything up into ramshod timelines, where you kind of have to figure out what the fuck's going on with who's saying what and when.
Bakano.
Fuck off.
That's a great anime. Shut up.
But because this is fan fiction and not an original fiction, you do have a more limitation, I guess I could say here, because your audience, if they're interested in reading just the Skaven point of view, are going to lose interest with every High Elf chapter you post. And people who might have come for the High Elf part of the story aren't going to know there's a High Elf part of the story, because if they just start off with the Skaven part, they're going to be like, oh, I don't want to read this.
Read two stories. One companion that only follows the High Elves, one that only...
I mean, that's also a fair point. Yeah, that's also a fair point. I was going to say either you end up merging the stories in terms of, one chapter being the first half is from the Skaven point of view, the second half is from the Elf point of view, or splitting them into separate stories would be another idea. Again, because it's fan fiction, you can just do this for free and not have to, worry about people not buying the sequel or companion book, effectively, and you can just be like, yeah, well, I just have 2 stories running, and if you want to read it from the Skaven point of view, you read this one. If you want to read it from the elf point of view, you read this one. That is another thing, and it also does help give people a better idea of the genuine word count and progress of your story. Because if your story is, say, 70k words long, but it's actually 35k words half Skaven, 35k words high elf, and it actually only progresses the timeline of 35k words worth, then it's kind of like an issue I've ended up having with some worm stories I was reading back in the day, where the author, trying to give multiple points of view, ended up reiterating what happened from a different point of view too often, and just completely lost large swaths of people from their story, because they were just like, okay, yeah, we've already seen, this scene happening from a different point of view. We don't need to see it again from someone else's point of view, even if different things are going on from their point of view. Because once the scene is shown too much, or just the events in themselves, maybe not the scene itself, maybe a bomb goes off, the elf is in the city, the Skaven's outside the city, but in the end, it starts to really grow and wear on people when reading it, to see the exact same thing written over and over again in the same story. Which again could be solved by splitting it in half, so the people that want to read both can, the people that only want to read one can. Also gives you a better idea of how many people like one side or the other. And also splits the people who are reading the story, so you get a better idea of the people who have opinions on Skaven in the Skaven section, and people who are giving opinions on the High Elves in the High Elves section. Whether you're doing it right, or you're not including something, or there's some bit of lore you might have missed, or some such. Does anyone else have anything to add?
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Nope. Nothing else to add, honestly.
I mean, otherwise, because again, I'm not going to be reading chapter 2 on the stream, but I will check it out on my own. I can't really give you advice on how that goes here now. If I see anything, big or important, I guess I'll make a review. No guarantees. But from what I've seen so far, not much. You didn't really give us a lot to work with. It is a very short chapter, as I've mentioned before. So there really wasn't much to formulate an opinion around. This is going to end up being one of those stories where you have to give 3 chapters worth of reading to really be like, okay, am I going to read this story further or not? To people that show, this is like stuff for the future. To people that show up, and when they only have 2,000 words to read of a new story, they're either going to mark it down and be like, I really want to see where this goes, or you're going to get a lot of people that are just going to be like, it's 2,000 words, and I'll come back at some other future point in time when it has more words.
And they won't come back.
And they won't come back. They'll effectively forget about it until one of their friends who was reading it go recommend it to them, like 3 years down the line.
Or just never.
Yeah. So if you are going to go with the typical short stories, maybe make your first chapter a little bit longer so people can get a better feel of where the story is going and the general, everything that's going to be happening in the story to, really hook people in so they can formulate a better opinion on your story in the future. Or post in rapid succession. Like maybe get the first 3 chapters if you want to keep to the short chapter length, because it just works better for you. Maybe build up like 3 chapters worth before you post a new story, so you can be like, day 1, first chapter, day 2, second chapter, day 3, third chapter. So you can still keep that short chapter length, but still reel people in, because they'll be like, oh, it's already got 3 chapters. So just
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But other than that, we've all had our fun. We've had a good time here. And now it's time for the absolute garbage. You guys all thought we were going to avoid that tonight, didn't you?
No.
You should have
We
known
had no
that.
illusions.
You should have known
We had no
that, yeah.
illusions.
So I will use a new function I just learned about, which apparently is supposed to send the Twitch economy into an absolute hellscape. It's called
Oh boy.
Predict.
yes, the thing I sent you a video about, like, yesterday.
Yes, the thing that doesn't matter because we don't have any point because you have nothing for us to spend the points on.
Exactly.
Oh,
So we
yeah,
can just
that's a
gamble them
total
all, and
point.
there's no
I have
no
100k
problems.
points, Atin. Fuck you.
All right, so let's
Yeah, I have
see.
100k points too. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to spend them on.
Exactly.
so
that's
I
what
missed
he's
the point where you
doing.
criticized the story. What happened?
Hmm? We missed
nothing
it's an okay story. I give it a 7 out of 10. There's not much to work on, but it looked good from what we saw.
Okay. Were you the one who gave me a 9? Vamp, you're easy to please.
No, I think I gave you a 8. Maybe an 8, maybe a 9.
Listen,
Yeah, he was
You
like
said
somewhere
9.
between 7 and 8.
By the way, Isley, you wanted to put RAZED, not RAI. Raised a city means they built a city. Raising a city means they burned it to the ground.
Yeah. As far as me being easy to please, I don't know really much about that. Again, I've read, according to Zeke's platform, which only records favorites, which is about half of the stories that I've read in fanfiction alone. I've read around 200 million words plus now in favorited stories alone, let alone half the stories that I have followed. So I've read a lot, and I've read, like I said, around 800 hours worth of absolute garbage stories as well. So
to be fair, mine was pretty good. Let me pat myself on the back harder if you can hear it.
Just like I'm saying, that's not so much that I'm easy to please.
Yeah,
it's just I know exactly what my standards are, and you've met them.
I'm double jointed. I can pat myself on the back as hard as I want. No, really, I was just doing it. I was legit me patting my back that you just heard. I'm kidding.
Right.
No,
So
it was
the-
my best story. It's why I wanted you to read it so I could find some kind of fault with it because I was feeling a little too proud of it. I'm like, is it as good as I feel it is? I mean, Vamp confirmed. Yeah, it is.
Am I jerking
And he
myself
found,
off
and he
too hard
still,
right now?
and he still found a few mistakes, and that made it all worth it.
I have
be fair, most of what we
73K.
found were clarified.
All right, so what we're gonna predict, the prediction running is not gonna be what story I'm gonna cover. It's going to be, let's see, can we do 3 outcomes? No, only 2 outcomes. Okay, very well. So there's gonna be 2 outcomes. It's either we're gonna predict if the story is going to be bland, or if the story is going to be so bad it's funny.
Oh boy.
That seems like only 2 of at least 4 options.
I know, but I only have 2 options, so
Yeah.
I don't have the ability to give more than 2.
Unfortunate.
You're giving me a dice with only 2 sides. It's weird. It's like I'm feeling like there's a hint that there's more. There's
that's
4
like a
more
coin.
sides we're not seeing.
To be fair, that's Twitch's fault, not Sneaky's.
Okay. Do you guys play some kind of vocal D&D group or something?
Yeah, we do.
I mean, let's be clear. We all play different games of D&D, not with each other, because if I'm going to team up with Sneaky, I need a very specific DM.
Yeah, more or less.
Kind of DM.
All right, the prediction is live. You can participate in the prediction by following the directions it gives you.
Do any of you need another player or a DM?
Not right now.
Oh.
Believe me, I've been trying to get into Sneaky's game for quite a while, mostly because there's shenanigans.
So much.
We get up to stuff.
Well, I'm not just talking to Sneaky. Anybody here have a game that could use another player, or does anybody here need it?
All right, so I'll give you guys a sneak peek of the story. It's going to be the
Oh, fuck.
Immortal Natsu Dragneel, a fairy tale Ruby
no.
crossover.
Oh fuck.
You said
We're going
immortal
You
Natsu
motherfucker. You motherfucker.
Make your predictions, ladies and gentlemen.
So bad it's funny.
Wait, give me a minute. I'm still waiting to get into the thing.
I
Would you
already
So
like
bad
to
it's
hear my
funny.
prediction? My prediction is this.
We got 12K on bland and 100 on
Yeah.
funny.
Look.
I'm put
I did
100. Put
that.
another one on funny.
I put 12k on bland before I saw the story, so fuck you.
Oh, by the way. By the way, question:
Motherfucker.
Is there a difference between Fairy Tail the manga and the Fairy Tail that was going to be a video game that was porno? Are they the same thing?
I've
That was
never heard
censored?
of the porno, so I'm going to assume that there is, in fact, a difference, yes.
I know Raging Golden Eagle was bitching about it. That's why.
I don't watch him. So
Also,
wouldn't
not
know.
familiar with that.
We say the only people we watch are ourselves, really, because we're the best content out there, and you should only watch
obviously
us.
we're the best. It's
Man,
under the
everyone's
point
just
things,
drinking off
retard. Yeah, you
themselves off.
guys.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
I
I'm gonna
swear to
throw a
God.
few names out there. I want to know if you've heard of them.
Right, well,
Razor
fuck it.
Fist. Anybody
think-
here ever heard of a guy named Razor Fist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've all
How
heard
about
Razor Fist.
Aaron Clary?
Nope.
No.
How about Better Bachelor?
Nope.
Nope.
No. Wait. Maybe. I don't remember.
So probably no.
Yeah, probably no.
Honey Badgers.
Yeah, and then I.
I mean,
dropped it.
Honey Badger is, but I get the feeling that's not what you're asking.
They got
Karen
a little bit
Strawn.
too drama-y for me.
They did. Karen Strawn, Dr. Randomer Cam.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. That's all.
Alright. Oh, okay.
Oh, Revenge of the Sith.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Wow, no one voted. I see how it is. Only 2 people
Yeah.
voted. I see. So it's
For some
it's
reason,
Arn-
it wouldn't let me vote.
Yeah, it said
Yeah.
the,
I don't know
it said
how
the
to vote.
thing was closed by the time I got
Right,
there.
already close. Yeah.
Maybe not be dumb because Arn voted
Wow.
just fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look
I
up
already had
where
it
this
open, though.
vote is. What?
It's on
Where
Twitch.
is it?
You need channel
It's on
points.
Twitch. I'm not on Twitch.
Yeah, that's your
Yeah.
problem right
Well,
there.
that's
I
why.
literally have channel points. It's just not letting me use them.
Well,
Cool.
the vote has been
Yeah,
closed.
Yeah, you need to be faster, retard.
The vote was open and it wouldn't let me use them either.
Well,
Yeah,
you're dumb.
unfortunate.
So
Right.
let's get into
Well,
it.
whoever voted funny has a 1-105 return ratio, so you know. Fuck, dude. Oh well.
Don't worry, you're only
Maybe
gonna be
next
getting
time.
120 points for this.
Yeah. I mean, if I were to win.
Are you guys ready for this?
Oh god, fuck.
Oh, the wall of text.
Oh, fuck.
This
I was
is
wrong
the
to vote for
immortal
funny.
Natsu Dragneel. A fairy
Oh
tale
man, there's
Ruby
not even an author
crossover.
picture. Who boy?
Was that Max?
I tabbed out real quick to take a look at the stream, and I see it's not even a tabbed wall of text. It's just a wall of text.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a wall
Yeah.
of text.
Yeah.
It's just the wall.
One singular wall.
The wall.
This
Donald Trump stand. The
is
wall.
a gay Natsu story featuring Natsu times Gray.
Motherfucker, face
Nazis
the
can't be
wall.
Okay.
Natsu is 1/3 demon, 1/3 god, and
1/3
1/3
gay.
dragon. It goes through his life as he transfers to another world. There is only a single chapter with 4,000 words. It has 1 review and 1 follow.
What?
1,000 words.
How'd you find it?
It was given
He's the
to
one
me.
review.
Oh, he's the one who wrote it.
No, it was given to me.
It was given
Wait.
to him.
Wait, by who?
Shiro's server, I believe.
That's not surprising.
Time to get up, Prince Natsu.
It's time for you to roll over Bel Air.
Says a butler.
Wait. Oh, wait a second. Wake up, Natsu. It's time to destroy Earth.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly.
The Goku
I
pod.
sit up. My name is Natsu Dragneel. Ah, yes. I too wake up and go, ah, yes. Hello, this is my name.
Listen,
Hello, yes,
some days
I
I
am.
wake up and I
Oh.
gotta go. What was my name
Oh
again?
my
The
god.
dementia.
Do
Right,
you
guys,
also
guys.
narrate how you're a white Caucasian? Because that's what he's doing.
You
right
know,
now.
as
Yes.
part
Yes,
of my
I am a white
privilege, I
Caucasian.
do enjoy getting up and narrating the fact that I get to interact with the police in an unfair manner this morning.
God damn it.
I am 1/3 god. I am 1/3 demon. And I am 1/3 dragon. I am the prince of dragons, demons,
So,
and
no, hold on a
gods.
second. I want to ask here.
Yes.
Natsu.
Yeah.
Since, you know, you don't
Isn't
have...
Natsu the cat?
No, that's Happy.
No.
Natsu is the guy who doesn't wear a
The
shirt.
fire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The ice guy.
So,
No,
but so,
Ice Guy
uh,
is the
the other
there
guy.
hasn't
Gray.
been any kind of magical in vitro setup
Yes.
in that universe, right?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
No magical genetic editing?
No.
Nope.
Cool.
Mm.
How you 1/3, 1/3, 1/3? That's not how any of this works.
He
No,
injected
it's
their
possible.
blood.
Just not. It just takes a lot of generations to get that correct mixture.
Gotta mix the generations just right.
It's like the gold chocobo challenge. It takes a while.
I mean, fair, but
Look, there was a lot of
Even
Oedipus
with cheats.
complex going on. Okay.
Even with a guide, it's gonna take a while.
Alabama grew stronger.
God damn it.
Four people voted. Wow, amazing. Anyway, so
It always says 2 for me.
my
Oh, wait, no,
father
fuck,
is
it's
King
fine.
Igneal of the Dragons. My mother is Queen of the Demon Gods. I have an older brother named Zeph and an older sister named Lilith. I am 48 years old. Zeph and Lilith are 325 and are half demon, half god. Wait.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Hold the fuck up.
Wait.
Hold the fuck up.
Something's
Father is
not
dragon.
right here.
Wait.
Mother is
Keep
demon
going,
and
keep going.
god. Children are only demon and god, but the last child is dragon, demon, and god. Igneal, I hate to break this to you, but I think you might have gotten cucked.
Yeah.
Mr. Igneal, I feel we need to have a discussion.
Yeah.
So when did you first realize you weren't raising your own children? What do you mean? Well, you're a dragon, yes, and your children aren't. Oh.
I'm sorry. What?
Wait, what?
Hang on a minute.
She told me they
Sir.
would grow into their scales.
Sir, are you aware that your children are not dragons?
Are you
They-
aware that your children are not dragons?
I'm sorry. I don't know these characters. Is there like a talking dragon character?
No,
And
all the,
just
human
so
children?
the story is that all the dragons are dead, and they sent the children, orphans that they adopted, into the future. Yeah, don't
Okay.
To
ask.
like kill the they did it to kill the master of all magic dragon or something that's immune
the-
to all magic
Yeah.
or something like that. No.
Apologia, yeah.
Oh, this isn't Dungeons and Dragons.
Acnologia.
Oh, like anyone cares.
Acnologia. But no, none of that lore, none of the fairy tale lore has any relevance to this story. The author is just using character names, has no relevance to the actual characters in this story.
Did you say we figured that one out pretty quick?
I'm not familiar with fairy tale aside from
Yeah,
what
I
I've
just
seen.
wanna make-
Oh,
You
I
should
like-
count yourself fortunate then.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
It's terrible. I hate it.
It's
She
a
is
show that like
720 years old. And
it's a show that started out okay and went rapidly downhill.
Wait, hold on. My mom is 1/3 god and 2/3 demon and is 720 old.
That's
And-
Oh, no,
not
that's
how
possible.
this works.
That's
It's not
possible.
how words work.
And
That's possible.
our father, not
Didn't
our
we have
father.
a debate over Vila genetics?
Yes, we did.
Was that us?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did. That was funny.
Is 1/3 god and 2/3 dragon. Wait. Hold on.
And our oh my god, it's spelled so bad. It's like there's so many typos here.
Wait.
Okay. I feel like
Wait.
you can just hear the math.
Come on, Sticky. Diagram. Let's go.
I'm seeing numbers.
Okay. If your
I see dead
mother,
numbers.
I'm sorry,
How do
you're
you
going to
get
have
to
to go at least 2
1/3?
generations. You're going to have to go at
Yes.
least 3 generations to get that combination.
Like, okay, fine. Somehow your god, somehow the dragon jizz is half god, half dragon, and the mother egg is half god, half demon.
Yes.
But that would make
Nope.
2/3 demon.
You're thinking grandparents. Go to grandparents. 2 grandparents are half god, half
no.
demon.
We don't need another fucking layer of like confusion here.
Wait, hold on. Okay, no, I'm breaking out the paint.
This is really simple math, people.
Yeah, break out the paint.
This
Come
is
on.
I'm
Hey,
breaking out the paint.
I I just got back. What the fuck are these paragraphs?
There are no. Wait,
This is
actually,
welcome to what I normally cover.
this is 4,700 words. It has 4 paragraphs.
Okay, let's
But
see.
why?
Okay, so we have the parents.
Good question.
Alright, so the mother is 1/3 God and 2/3 demon. And then the father is 1/3 God
I'm hearing is that there are a lot of celestial beings crossing lines they ought not to be crossing.
Right, so then the Putnam square from them.
Don't kink shame us.
I will.
So then the Punnett square for them.
I mean, haven't you played Doom? You
wait,
must
hold
know how hot those demon girls are.
Okay, there we go.
They're all girls, if you didn't know.
So help me make
That
this
was the
Punnett
fakest
square, okay?
sneeze.
Because
What?
I'm really trying to figure this one out. So how do we end up with 1/3 from each of them with this equation here? Does anyone else see the issue?
Hang on a second.
1/3 from each.
So, you said 1/3 demon, god, and what else?
Right, so the result is Natsu, who is 1/3 demon, 1/3 god, and 1/3 dragon.
Oh, dragon. Okay, that makes sense.
So we need to figure out how these two had sex and somehow had a perfectly segmented boy of 1/3 from each.
I'm sorry, one parent was half angel, half god, half demon. The other was half dragon, half something else.
No. I have it right here. 1/3 god, 2/3 demon, and the other one was 1/3 god and 2/3 dragon.
2/3 demon?
Yeah. Yes.
1/3 god.
Do you see the issue?
2/3.
I was gonna say, if anything, he should just be half demon, half dragon.
Wait.
That's not how
hang,
genetics
hang on,
work,
hang,
people.
hang on.
I know,
Right,
but this is
so-
magic
so-
genetics.
From his mother.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
From his mother, he has
Uh-huh.
2/3 demon, right? And from
I'm
his
seeing the math here.
from both of the parents, he has 1/3 from each of God, and from his father, he has 2/3 dragon. That's
Right.
like equivalent amounts of 2/3 of each.
So he's 200% of a human?
Yes.
He's got the extra chromosomes to prove
6/3.
it?
He is 1%.
Listen, I would be.
He is 2 humans combined into 1.
I
rest my
see.
case.
We have cracked
No
the
need for
code.
earrings.
He is 200% a person.
Exactly.
We have cracked
Thanks
the
for
Da
coming to my
Vinci's
TED Talk.
code. Time to go
Thanks for coming
steal
to my
the
TED Talk,
Declaration
boys.
of Independence.
Hell yeah.
First of all, which genetics you get from your father and mother are mostly random.
I know.
Well,
Which
yeah,
ones are okay.
obviously.
So it's a roll of the dice how much of each you get, but
Exactly.
their parents had an even amount.
No.
Even
Exactly.
amount of god, even amount of demon, and even amount of dragon. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Incredibly unlikely that he'd have 1/3 of each.
I mean, if anything,
It's
he'd be
possible.
2/3 God, a 15th demon, and 15th, sorry, not 15th, 1/6 demon, and 1/6 of,
Is it
Wait.
because he's also part
Dragon.
human?
well, no, because each of his parents are 1/3 God. And if we're just going direct inheritance, then he'd be 2/3 God to start off with. Or possibly,
What?
I don't know, maybe the
Wouldn't he be
parents get
1/3
split in
God?
half.
Which would be so much simpler if divinity was just completely separate to genetics.
I mean, Divinity doesn't even exist in Fairy Tale. So
Wow.
Wasn't the cat an angel?
no, he was from another dimension.
Kind of kidding. Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of lame.
They revealed that later on. He's from another dimension where everybody who died decided actually lived because it was another dimension, and their personalities were
The opposite.
a little bit warped, but mostly similar. So then they just went, "Oh, we're in the good universe now, and we're less evil and salty."
Indeed.
Let's
but
just
there's still,
let's just stop being pissed off, everyone.
but there's still a universe that's dying because it has no magic.
Yes. So anyway, we're going to ignore the genocide that occurred in that canon and move on with this. So, and his
Still
dad,
not as dirty as Kirby. I'm still not as dark as Kirby.
It's still not. I do love that the entire quest of Kirby, every single Kirby story is Kirby was going to eat something, someone ruined it, so then Kirby killed God, devoured his soul, and then ate his cake.
Yes.
Based.
To be fair, sometimes it's just a king.
Sorry,
Kirby doesn't give a
758
fuck.
years old.
But yeah,
Demons,
listen, you think enough
dragons,
people would have learned to stop fucking Kirby's
gods,
cake by now.
usually live
Yeah,
around to 1,000 years old arbitrarily. Gods live to 1,000. Interesting. So gods can die of old age. Interesting.
God is dead, and we fucking killed him.
God is
Kirby
dead.
did.
He died of a heart attack and apparently COVID.
Oh,
No,
oh fuck.
well, it's better than the immortal Phoenix who died from eating a bad seed.
Yeah,
That's
guys,
fair
we
enough.
should have locked down harder. Maybe God would have survived.
They didn't-
Wear the fucking mask or you'll kill God.
I mean, don't tempt.
That just encourages me.
I was gonna say, I'm sure there's quite a few
Exactly.
people who are only encouraged by that.
Me too.
Are you saying heaven didn't cut off its lanes of travel fast enough?
We
Yes.
can get some fedoras to stop believing the bullshit mask mandates by saying that.
God wants you to wear the mask, while every single atheist just simultaneously rips it off.
Based.
I mean,
Psyops
listen, that
in
would
the
cut
modern
down
era.
on the atheist population, so I'm okay with that.
Considering
It would
most
not.
of them are overweight.
It would actually
yeah,
save more of
probably.
them.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
maybe.
Okay, he has a point.
God magic lets you use all weapons.
Because
And
there is one thing I want to point out.
Well,
Just on the D&D note, can we please stop getting the fedora wearing neckbeards who are like, my character's in D&D universe? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Not even agnosticism makes sense in that universe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Paylor's sitting right there. I mean, I'm looking at him.
I'd
Well,
like
it's
some
kinda
proof
like-
that Paylor exists. Okay, I'm gonna ask Paylor to heal your sucking chest wound. I don't have a sucking. Paylor, heal him.
Yeah, no, it's really hard to not
Even
believe
better
in
than that-
Tyr when he smites someone right in front of you and you're just like,
Even
Fair
better
enough.
than
Yes.
that, Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. He's had a dick measuring contest with the devil. He knows for a fact that Poseidon exists, and yet he's an atheist.
I mean,
well,
that's
just
more
Rick
just.
Sanchez is a dick.
I know.
Well, I was
It's
gonna say-
because he, like most atheists, don't want to be held accountable to a higher power, and does not believe he should be.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would say yes. To be fair, most of them, there's a large number of them who don't actually use it as a moral or conscientious objection to the state of the world, and in fact use it only as I can do what I want because there's no higher power and I'm not accountable to anybody. And
that's not even atheism
very-
anymore. That's just a nihilistic route. That's just
No, but-
nihilism
Yeah.
pretending
No.
to be
It is atheism. I don't remember which one it was who debating a Christian apologist, but the Christian apologist, I can't remember either of their names, asked straight point blank if it wasn't for the laurels on sexual exploration, would you still be an atheist? Would you still have a problem with Christianity? And the answer was no.
Of course. Yeah, like I said,
They
that's
just want
nihilism.
their cummies.
Yeah, it's just
Most of
nihilism.
them just want their cummies. Yeah.
It-
I'm in good
and-
company here. I like you guys.
Well, and that's the thing, right? And another important thing is for people who are religious to recognize like myself, that I cannot prove what I believe. I can believe it, And I'm certainly not going to try to force it or my moral viewpoints on other people, barring the ones that are, of course, common sense, like, don't go committing
Communism.
murder.
Cringe.
But by and large, it's just a set of guidelines that I choose to abide by, and it's nobody's business if I do, and it's nobody's business if someone else doesn't, and it doesn't matter.
Unless, of course it hurts someone else. That doesn't matter.
I have two counterpoints. The first is that without God or a similar higher power, there is no objective standard by which you can claim anything as moral or immoral.
No, I will refute that.
No, but you see, that's where
Yeah.
the agreed upon rules of society become what determines what is moral and immoral.
Culturally,
Yeah, but most of those are usually based on the religions that
becomes
formed them.
subjective, is what I'm saying. On every level, every moral can be argued is subjective without that higher power. My second argument,
yes, but
Because
no,
it is.
because the thing is that with certain morals you can understand are clearly objective. Because if you're approaching it from a non-higher power standpoint, certain morals like don't kill members of your own species makes sense.
there are countless scenarios where I that's fine in an atheist universe.
No, I know.
In a godless universe, there's no reason why I shouldn't be allowed to kill anybody. I feel like.
But then you would argue, why should I not be allowed to do that? Well, would you want someone to do it to you? No. Okay, well there you go.
Does that matter?
Yes, the idea
do
of
what thou
equivalence.
wilt shall be the whole of the law.
Right, no, but that's the
Humans
idea
have
of
developed something called empathy.
Yes.
Most don't have it anymore.
Most people don't have it.
But I'm sorry, I didn't want to turn into
But
a huge debate on that.
the point I was trying to make
we
to
can have that
refute it.
debate some other time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just the second
to finish
point.
it off.
And it's my fault, and I apologize.
Okay, I didn't want to start a whole debate on this.
No.
We could have it for hours.
It's good. That's
Yes,
all good.
we'll be at it for hours. It's a fascinating discussion, one that will be pursued at a later date, unrelated to this podcast.
And just the second point I really wanted to make very quickly.
Yeah.
The closest thing to a mathematical proof of God, or at least the divinity of man, you could do the math on this. It's pretty convincing. I don't know if I told you guys this before. The likelihood of angiogenesis taking place under the conditions it did on Earth, there's actually a mathematical formula for how likely it is for life to exist.
Yeah.
And the likelihood of life as we know it, which is the only life we can prove exists. The only type of life that we can prove
found
exists.
proof of
wait,
life
let me finish.
on other planets.
Let me finish. It's 1 in 10 to the 60th power is the likelihood of life, of multicellular life developing through a series of evolution.
Yeah.
And the best what is the word? Not guess. The best guess for how many planets exist in the universe, just Earth-like planets exist in the universe. Yeah, estimate. The best estimate for how many planets exist in the universe at all is 10 to the 60th power.
Yeah.
So, according to all of our science so far, there should be exactly one planet in the universe with life on it. And
statistically,
with the possible,
maybe realistically.
Yeah, that's true. But
the possible exception of life on nearby planets that got there due to meteoric impacts.
Right, but the thing is though is that is assuming that life can only flourish under the exact environments that Earth has, which
is an
false.
assumption we have to make.
Well, no, it's false. We found life on Triton. We found life on Mars. We found evidence of bacteria and water on the moon.
Which can be explained as it got there from Earth.
It's possible. Yes, that's theoretically possible.
But
the
counterpoint to that
conditions
is
on Earth are completely different from the conditions on Triton and Mars. Yet the bacteria still lived there just fine. They adapted.
There's bacteria on Earth that live in those conditions, but did not develop in those conditions.
Again, yes, that's fair, but that is still proof that, technically speaking, life can exist in non-standard.
I didn't say
Earth
life
atmosphere.
can't exist. Life can exist everywhere in the universe, but it can't develop there. It can get from Earth to most places in the universe and survive. Absolutely.
So what you're saying is we're a fungus.
From what I recall from seeing that whole calculation, it was assuming one specific path
Yes.
It was not
Yeah.
taking into account molecules forming bits by bit. It was all at
Yeah.
once.
Life can
I
also be
actually like the
silicon-based,
theory.
and not carbon-based,
No,
Well,
like
we
we
have
are.
no evidence that it is.
So,
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
I do like the
Yeah.
theory that pre life forms just amino acids and stuff can develop in space. I like that theory, but we don't have evidence for it yet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Until we have more evidence. So far,
no,
all
there
of
is
the evidence
there
we
is
have.
someone actually successfully recreated the primordial soup recipe.
Oh yes, absolutely, and it created amino acids here on Earth, in the conditions that were on Earth, not in space. So yes,
that's
we
right, okay.
think
yeah.
we're pretty sure life developed on Earth.
So anyway,
by itself.
being a god made you 10 times better at using weapons than anyone else.
What? I thought he was saying it just gave you all weapon proficiencies, like a warrior or whatever.
Both. It made you 10 times better
Oh.
at using every weapon. I don't know why being a god has anything to do with that, but okay.
Like, I can understand if you're the son of a specific god.
Oh, war god. I get ready to. Okay, that's just a random blurb. He's just like, yeah, being a god makes you just better at weapons, and then he's like, I get ready to go to school today. It's like, wait.
Well, okay, hold on.
I am
School.
God.
I inserted school, but he's like, I'm getting ready to go today.
Quick question: is this character from Fairy Tale or
neither
the pirate one? No. Girl with a lot of arms.
Girl with a lot of arms.
Somebody just posted this on my Discord.
I
It's
think
either
he's talking
Fairy
about
Tale.
Urza.
Oh,
Hang
Urza
on,
with all the flying swords?
Or do you
Hang
mean
on now.
literal arms?
Literal arms. This girl, is she from Fairy Tale or the?
That's gotta be One Piece.
Nico
Okay.
Robin, I think is her name.
Okay, somebody just posted on the Discord. I'm like,
Yeah.
color me curious. All right, that was it. Just bothering me.
Oh yeah, that's meant to be a Nico Robin cosplay based on the hand positions, the finger positions.
So let's see. I'm also able to use all dragon magic. Period. Even though my dad was a fire dragon, I'm able to use every flavor of dragon music.
Okay.
Yeah. So
This-
every single dragon sort of has their D&D alignment, where you have the fire dragon, the steel dragon, the ice dragon.
I like
etc.
the bronze ones.
And by being that alignment of dragon, you could use that alignment of dragon magic. So, like, if you were the steel dragon, you could use steel shout. If you were the fire dragon, you used fire shout, and you healed by eating fire. And if you were the steel dragon, you healed by eating steel. Which honestly sucks for that dragon, because steel has to be invented.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, this is not D&D. This is Fairy Tale. Got it.
This is Fairy Tale, yeah. That's how Fairy Tale implemented it. So it's kind of, again, it's completely just breaking out of the mold of the whole system setup that Fairy Tale uses by saying that Natsu is able to use every dragon type magic, because he should only be able to use fire. But, you know, what does that matter now? Because he's super OP and immortal and stuff, like whatever.
What's the point of writing a story where the character is too OP? I mean, you're not gonna top One Punch Man. You're not gonna
It's
master
because it's
that.
a power fantasy in which the original character, who is wearing the skin of a character that people actually enjoy, goes on and does all the things that they dreamed about doing. But they know personally that if they ever wrote a story about themselves doing those things in that universe, people would hate them for it, because it's a really shit story and it's a really shit character because the author is really shit themselves. But
Okay, I write.
they delude themselves into thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've written, or at least I will be, writing several very overpowered and kind of retarded characters, but they make sense in the stories. They're not the main character. That's the point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would say the only way to make a story like that function is to make it so that the main character is not.
Well, no, the main character
overpowered
can be the
McGee.
overpowered one. It just has to be things that are conflict otherwise that aren't physical. You know, emotional.
On the
conflict,
topic of
family
my story,
conflict, etc.
the blood-soaked succession. By the end of it, Harry Potter's going to be an absolute unit. He's gonna,
Well,
but
well,
he's
sure,
still
but you-
not going to be the biggest, baddest thing around.
But you build up to that. Like, there's a difference.
Yes, this story is his absolute descent into evil. That's what
Right.
my story is.
Yeah, but it's like starting off your story with being like, so yeah, my character is naturally as powerful as Goku in God Saiyan mode, and he doesn't have to do anything. Like, that's how you start. Your first sentence of the story is, "My character is as strong as Goku in God Saiyan mode."
Yeah, and in this story, in my
there's no
story, I'm
build-up.
going to make Harry Potter get his ass whooped.
Right.
Right, and again, we're not complaining about your story. We're complaining
I know.
about
I'm
person's
comparing this. I'm trying to make sure I'm having the correct philosophy as a writer.
Yeah.
That you don't start off overpowered. Like maybe an overpowered ability that he abuses, something like that. I did give him that, but
I mean,
he
One
earned it.
Punch Man's actually a really good example of your character starting off overpowered and having no power scaling at all in the entire story. It's because One Punch Man isn't about him beating up the villains, because that's just a foregone conclusion. One Punch Man...
It's about him being a dork.
Right. It's about him trying to live basically a slice of life story.
And failing.
And failing.
While everyone else around him is living the Warhammer 40k fantasy.
Yeah, effectively. And that kind of dichotomy, juxtaposed dichotomy, I believe is the correct English term for it. But anyway, that kind of dichotomy is what makes the story interesting. But a lot of people get it wrong in that they're trying to be the OP main character, but at the same time still make the story about physical conflict.
If you have OP protagonists, they should be on the sidelines board. Like the mentor from Bleach, I forgot his name.
Which one?
The old man.
Oh yeah,
Urahara.
Like Urahara or Sans the Skeleton.
Right. Yeah, no,
They're
I
just
get
so
that.
overpowered. They're like, why the fuck would I get involved? Let them have this learning experience. Fuck it. I'm not getting involved.
Get involved. This is done in 2 seconds.
Well,
yeah, and then
not only that,
everyone's
it's you
bored.
also get
and then
to use
people are
them
gonna
then.
yeah, and then people are gonna get up in my shit about not helping all the time. Fuck that.
But you can also then use them as both Sans and Urahara were actually very well used, in that when they did show up, because they had been built up as so strong the entire time, people were like, oh shit, things are about to get serious. The OP side character has just shown up to actually kick some shit in.
As a quick aside before I check off, the biggest failure of the Naruto series, I was expecting from day one that Old Man Ichiraku and a lot of the other like little shopkeepers in the village were actually just retardedly OP, and they just trained in secret like ninjas, and they were all at one point just going to come out and reveal themselves in a big battle, and that never happened.
No.
Like when Pain was attacking, I was expecting Mr. Ichiraku to come out and whoop his ass. That's what I was expecting. I swear to God,
actually a retired
that's what I
ninja.
thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
That that would have explained a lot about the military strength for the fire. It's like actually everyone who runs a shop there over the age of 40 is a retired ninja.
Yeah.
And they're stupidly overpowered because they still train every day, and they usually do it in like creative ways. Like Ichiraku, I'm imagining he heats the water up to boil with his bare hands with just chakra, and he does everything about the cooking with jutsu just to practice and get finer control. That's what I just
He's
imagine.
just been practicing his chakra control for the last
So
20
basically what
years.
you're saying is Naruto, but everyone treats it like a Ranma world?
A what world?
Ranma?
The Ramna.
I've never
Ranma 1/2.
Ranma 1. It sounds familiar.
Basically, so the joke is...
I got it.
Yeah.
I remember Ranma 1/2. I didn't even have to finish Googling it.
Yeah, the joke with Ranma 1/2 is that everything has a martial arts dedicated to it. So martial arts tea making, martial arts soup cooking, martial arts, house building. So everyone in Naruto just treats everything they're doing as some form of ninja training. So, ninja art, ramen making.
Well, the way I see it is more like if you're like really into fitness, you even chores, like if you're shoveling, you try to do it with proper form to train the muscles you're targeting. Like something I used to do when I was doing landscaping, that kind of thing. But whatever you're doing with chakra, you can practice it doing whatever the fuck. And whatever you practice it on, it still applies to all of your other jutsu.
Would have been funny. Yeah, I would have liked that. That would have been
Like
cool.
I just imagined Ichiraku and just like some of the side characters that you never really see, just turning out to be retardedly OP and did it in secret because they're ninjas. They're actual fucking ninjas.
Right. Yes.
That's what I was expecting to happen in Naruto, and it was a huge missed opportunity. But I'm gonna go to
well,
bed.
most of Naruto was a huge missed opportunity. But anyway, yeah.
That's
so have a
true.
good night, man.
You too. Thank you all for having me in my meandering conversations.
No problem.
We appreciate him. Get the hell out.
Bye.
So anyway, with his dragon magic that he can use, his old brother can only use dark dragons, and his sister can only use light dragons. And his mom uses sky, and his dad uses fire. But somehow, sky and fire make dark, light, and all. Okay, yeah, sure. That's okay. Yeah, all right.
Okay, I guess.
My physical attributes include that I can. Don't you just narrate how strong you are? You know, like you get up in the morning, you're brushing your teeth, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure I am glad that I'm a Caucasian white male." And you walk downstairs to get some breakfast, and you're like, "Ah yes, I too can, bench press 300 pounds, and I can do at least 100 squats, and deadlifts." It's just like, who the fuck does that in their life?
I guess my racial ability, talking to police officers.
God damn it.
Is Zerf supposed to be Zareth or probably another OC? It honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's an OC regardless. It's probably supposed to be Zareth, but it's an OC regardless because this entire thing is a fucking shit show where the author doesn't know biology, doesn't know anything, and their character is just randomly overpowered for no apparent reason. Even though you're supposed to be 100% dragon, because that's what the kids end up becoming. Like, that's why they can use Dragon Slayer magic.
Yeah.
It's because actually they're dragon-shaped humans, effectively. And that's why they're able to use Dragon Slayer magic.
Don't you mean human-shaped dragons?
Whatever. Dragon-shaped humans, human-shaped dragons, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay, you get the point. The point is that they're actually 100% dragon, but they just look human. How that works doesn't fucking matter. Point being, though, is for some reason, this guy is just like, even though I'm only 1/3 dragon, so technically speaking, I should only be 1/3 as strong as a normal dragon. I'm actually stronger than every dragon by only being 1/3 dragon.
Yep.
Because fuck you.
Yeah, effectively. My physical attributes include that I can smell a drop of blood from literally miles away. I can see up to 2 miles away. And my hearing can hear a heartbeat 20 miles away, and my hearing is so good, I can hear what other people are thinking.
Damn, okay, that's pretty impressive. Not gonna lie.
Could you please quit thinking so loud?
What?
I need you to stop thinking so loud.
I turned 31.
On a hangover morning.
Yeah, apparently it took him 31 years to make earplugs that actually prevented him from hearing a heartbeat and people's thoughts. But the earplugs only worked at 50% and only restricted him to only hearing 10 miles away. Yeah, only 10 miles away. He doesn't wear them unless he's in a big crowd.
I feel like they're ripping off
This
another
has to be like a joke or something, right? This story has.
No,
Be a
the story seems to be real.
No. Yeah.
Like I've
Well, I
heard
mean,
something
this.
before, but it was in like a different series, and it was explained fairly reasonably why. But this
Probably.
sounds
Who knows?
bad.
Every 10 years, we meet with other demon lords, but they are from other planets.
Wow. Okay.
I get along
what
great
the
with
fuck is up
Demon
with
Lord
Mr.
Salem.
Retard?
Down the fuck off his
I
stuff.
get along great with Demon Lord Salem, Queen of the Grim.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh my fucking god.
Well, there's the Ruby part.
Oh, yeah.
Cease and
Obligatory Ruby part.
desist, author.
She is from a different world, but was my age, and we became friends. And then we started eating food one day, and Zareth goes, I have
give me a
an
moment.
announcement.
I gotta hug my comfort Luger.
And Dad says, go head me. And Zareth says, I am dating friend. And his name is Agnolia, and he is dragon.
No, Annie Loga.
Annie Loga, yeah, sorry. Annie Loga. So, yeah.
Wait a minute. How did Anakin Skywalker get in
So
here?
he's gay. He's a
logo.
gay demon.
Okay.
Oh, that's terrible.
He's a
I
literally
mean, to
gay
be fair,
demon.
demons are
Unfortunate.
degenerates.
And his mom's
Unfortunate.
like, finally, and dad's like, okay, can't wait to meet him. And mom is like, good job. I say, good job, bro, you have boyfriend. Yes, that's what mothers say. Good job, bro, you have boyfriend.
Yeah, well, yeah, he never ended the mom call. Oh, damn.
We finish
Poor thing.
eating and I go to study and practice magic. Dragneels are feared and have red eyes, and humans know of Dragneels. It is where you go after death, the underworld.
What?
It is where you go after death, the underworld. So apparently after you die in the underworld, you go to Dragneel. Which is like
Yes, of course.
second
Take
hell
that,
or something. Take that.
Atheism wins again.
After you die in hell, you go to second hell.
Hell 2, Electric Boogaloo. God fucking damn it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Just having flashbacks to learning that Dragon Ball is like, oh, you can die in hell. What happens then? Oh, you're just gone.
you just
gone.
Listen, anybody can break out of hell. Oh, okay. What happens if you die while you're down there? You gone.
You go.
Yeah, the super hell.
Orange
sure you
clock's
want the
gun
answer
with
to that?
malicious intent, indeed. So but anyway, blah, blah, blah.
Like, I
But we
appreciate
can
that
leave
there's the
whenever.
option to just wait around and hope that somebody with the Dragon Balls feels sorry for you. Or you can try to break out on your own. But if you lose, if you fail to break out on your own, not even the Dragon Ball's bringing you back.
Yep. So anyway, the Dragneels are in the hell that's after hell, but the Dragneels
hell.
themselves can leave Dragneel whenever. And he has a hair that changes color and is spiky and changes color horn and color wing and double demon.
Does he have rainbow eyes too?
Tail tips. And no,
He
his
has
eyes are red.
heterochromatic eyes.
No, his eyes are red.
Rainbow
Tail
eyes.
tips are black, same for his
LGBT eyes.
dragon form, but he only has one tail when he is a dragon. When we go to the human world, we make ourselves look human, but without red eyes. And when I turned 50, the twin flu happened.
You know,
The twin flu?
maybe we shouldn't have won World War II. Like, on retrospect. Would it truly have been so bad?
Yes.
No, my people would have been supreme, and it would have been amazing.
Comfort me,
ooh.
Car 98.
You know what? This guy
In
might
all
act-
seriousness, Tojo, have you ever read Man in the High Tower?
In the High Castle?
High Castle? Yep. I mean,
I
there's
have.
this book called Man in the High Tower, but
Have you ever played
I have
Kaiser
not.
Reich?
That's a different thing.
I have. No, I have not played
Yeah.
Kaiser Reich.
It is the
Pretty
best.
It's
Yeah,
something
it's-
else.
it's
It's
a
really
fucking
weird.
mess.
In Kaiser Reich, it has the U.S. go into a spiraling depression, and then without a Great World War, it ends up breaking into three factions, separated between the West Coast, New England.
No, four factions.
Right, four
Five.
factions,
Five.
right.
Five if you count New England. So there's New
Right, yeah.
England, there's the West Coast,
Yeah.
there's the US, there's Huey Long Dog in Louisiana and the South, and then there's the fucking communists in the rest.
It's really
in the Rust
weird.
Belt.
It's
be
really
long
weird.
dog.
It's really fucking weird that how accurately Kaiser Reich is predicting how the world is going.
Yeah. It's
Where Britain gets taken over by communists.
and France.
And well, France has always
France
been
has always
communist.
been.
Yeah, true. And the fucking UK royal family gets yeeted to Canada. Very epic.
It's really weird how accurate Kaiser Reich is turning out to be.
Yeah. Shame about Germany though.
Indeed.
That's not very accurate.
When I turned 50, the twin flu happened, and my sister, mom, and aunt Mavis all died. 150 years later, Big Bro. Oh, so we're just time skipping 150 years. We're just we're time skipping multiple times in this paragraph.
In this sentence.
In the same sentence, in fact.
Teleportation time.
150 years later, Big Bro and Annie Loga got married. I have never been to the human world, but I have read and learned about things about it, though. THL. I attained my true form on my 150th birthday. I have changing colored rainbow scales. Well, wow, he's a fucking rainbow dragon and he's gay. Wow, who saw that coming?
Wow.
Who saw that coming? I wish I could write jokes these bad, but
yeah.
What a Fruit Loop.
Oh god. Anyway, so it's by sharp claws and long fangs. Dad says, "So you're going to the human world? Have fun. Take this necklace. It will make you seem like human." I say, "I will also say hi to Big Bro. Bye." I put on the necklace and leave through the portal and make myself look about. Wait. I put the necklace on and leave through a portal and make myself look about 10 years old because I look like I am 14 years old.
Lexicon that this man has. Oh my god.
Clearly he's trying to attract shotguns.
The Tolkien of our age.
I would just say all I can think about is
what?
I'd like to stop. Although this does remind me. So first of all, Sneaky, did you know that Riordan couldn't stop with messing with the Greeks and the Romans, so he decided to write an entire series about sending Apollo to Earth as a normie?
Yeah. Is he a hobo or something?
Yeah, I've read the first 3 books because Amazon let me read them for free. It was okay. But one of his favorite things to comment on is, "I don't know why my sister is obsessed as appearing as a 12-year-old girl."
I mean, that's actually a fair point, though. It is kind of weird that Riordan does make her constantly show up as a 12-year-old girl.
And like he's like, "Oh, I'll have Apollo make a funny by pointing it." It's like that's not making it better there, buddy.
Yeah,
still
when
creepy.
an author points out, "Look at this really weird, creepy thing I do," isn't it making it better that the character is making fun of it? It's like, no, it's still weird and creepy.
We'd still like you to not read.
Yeah. If you could stop, that would be great. Just generally never do this again, and we'll be better off. First Kojima and now this guy. They must be stopped. Yes, indeed.
All right, now hold on a minute. At least Kojima admits to being a freaky weirdo and embraces it.
Why is she rapidly vibrating while the water soaks into her bra? It's because she has to drink through her skin.
What?
No, it's breathe.
What?
Yeah, it's
what?
No,
Drinking?
no. She's in the. No, that's how she drinks water. Is she has to go into the shower and then she shakes rapidly, and she drinks through her skin like that.
Yep, seizure
Do
time.
not remember that at all in that game.
Literally a scene in it that says literally, "What is she doing?" And she's rapidly shaking in front of the shower, and she's like, "Well, you see, she breathes
she's like
through her skin,
dancing or whatever."
No, that's a different scene.
Ritual drinking.
We're talking about the scene where she's taking a shower in the jail
Right,
cell.
and she's in the cage, right? Because they don't trust her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like, "Well, you see, all of her skin was burned off, so she has a skin parasite, and she has to breathe through her skin, and she also drinks through it. And the only way she can't drown is by taking a shower and rapidly vibrating, or something."
Posted it in
fucking Kojima.
9K.
It's really fucking okay. Look, it's really fucking weird. Okay.
Listen,
Yeah.
no one is here trying to defend. No one here is gonna be like, no, Kojima's just solid immense.
I loved Metal Gear 5. I had an amazing time with Metal Gear 5.
Oh, I had a ton of fun playing it. Kojima was the highest he's ever been.
Yes, yeah. There was so much going on in that story that I'm just like,
Yeah, I actually played Metal Gear 5 the first time. It was actually my first Metal Gear game. And I'll be honest, the fucking intro has never confused me more. Just like a dude on fire. I assume Mantis fucking showing up here and there, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah. That was also Sahelanthropus with his flamethrower dick. That was
Listen, my favorite memory of Metal Gear Solid 5 was a bet I made with Max.
Oh yes, the punching Sahelanthropus to death or something.
Which ended up being slightly tilted in Max's favor because we figured out the only way to damage Sahelanthropus with a melee weapon was to use the machete, and the machete did fucking crazy damage.
What the fuck are you talking about? And I chipped at him for 60 minutes.
Yeah, it took a while.
It took.
I still think it was great.
No bullshit. That was still in my favor.
Yeah, I would say the only thing.
All he had to do was dodge one-hit KOs for 60 minutes. Like, come on, that's clearly easy.
No, I was actually really annoyed. The only thing that actually really annoyed me about that was that he never once did the rust attack.
Oh. Yeah, I hated
was
that.
too close for him to do that.
But it's just like, no, because he would do. I tested it. He would do it up in my face, Max.
Max, just face it. This is another case of the AI liking you a lot.
This isn't even that. It's Sneaky, you've watched me. I literally make it a hobby to see if I can break the AI in games that allow me to do so.
I'm aware.
I promise you, what happened is Atin was standing in front of him taking swings, whereas I tried to stay directly under or to the right and back.
Well, you figured it out, Max.
How much of this story is left?
Too
like
much.
the scroll bar is not
All-
big, but that's
all of it.
because these aren't
Too
proper.
much. Too
These
much.
aren't proper paragraphs.
So yeah, anyway, he makes himself look like a 10-year-old, and then he goes to Fairy Tale, and he was like, I heard this guild was a good guild. And, he pretended to be a dragon slayer. And I walk in, am a half-naked boy, throws a table at me. I dodge and say, what was that for, you stripper? And he goes, what's it to you, you scarf man?
Ah, yes!
Scarf
Yes.
man.
Scarf man!
He got you right there, bro.
Riveting
He fucking got
dialogue.
you.
I say,
Truly insulting.
this
Scarf
was
man.
a gift
Wait.
from my father.
Why
So
would
then
you
I
call him
go
a
join the
man when he
guild.
looks like he's 10 years old?
Huh?
Scarf man.
Scarf man.
Why call him a man when he
Scarf
looks
man.
like a kid?
Scarf man.
Well, you see, it's because, reason.
He's secretly already thirsting for the D.
We didn't need to hear that.
That's what the author's doing. I bet.
Anyway. So, Scarf Man, he's about to write some fucking 10-year-old on 10-year-old sex.
We've seen it on this website!
I know. Auntie, is that you? And his aunt's like, yup, this is me. How's Zareth doing? I hope he's not in trouble. And I'm like, well, we miss you. And Annie Logia, wow, he got rich enough to buy another vowel for his name.
Damn. Epic. Oh no. Oh no.
Did you see a certain sentence of
I saw a
Arn?
certain sentence, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mavis says that's
Oh.
good. We talk for a while, and then the stripper is gray.
Oh, car, save me.
The stripper is Gray. I go on
Oh,
jobs
just
even though I
keep
don't
going.
need the money, and I find a blue egg and it hatches into Happy. We do missions and I have fun. I come back from a job and kick open the doors. I say, I am back. Gray, who I have a crush on, say, you're back,
I knew it!
Flame Brain. What did you call me, Ice Princess? Big Brother got pregnant.
I'm sorry. Who was right? Who was right and doesn't want to be right? But who was right?
It's in the
I love
bloody
how Gray
story.
left. I
Look.
love how Gray left. Which, like,
Yeah, Gray's just gone.
Gray actually laughed over this story.
Yeah.
this is amazing.
But again, it was in the
Gray's
summary.
pregnant. I practice all of my other magic in secret, and I hide my crush on Gray. I go on when I hear something about Salamander. I went and meet girl named Lucy and brought her back to Fairy Tale. I sit at counter and Lucy join guild. Lucy come over to me. Lucy say, what in ear can you hear me? Mira say, what you mean, do you have something in ear? Lucy pulls it out and everything get louder fast. I hear Natsu so cute come from Grey Mind. I blush and say, Lucy, can I have that back? Lucy gives it to me and I put it back. I say, they are earplugs. I wear them in crowded places. And Lucy is like, why do you do that? And I say, because I can hear heartbeats from 20 miles away.
Sneaky, I come back here and I'm going to save us all the trouble. I am using my sub. Stop fucking reading this.
Okay.
Okay.
For the love of God, fucking stop. Holy shit. I'm going to fucking rip my ears off my goddamn head if I have to hear you say anything about this story anymore.
All right, then. Good night, everybody.
Wait, Sneaky.
Wait,
the verdict prediction.
The verdict prediction is it's funny. I'm sorry, everyone who voted bland.
R.I.P. 12k points.
No, hold on a second. The story wasn't funny. Nose was funny, which, to be fair, probably deserves even more channel.
At this story. How do I choose the prediction that was correct?
Is it on the page where you made it?
No, it disappears after a minute.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
I don't know how to select.
I think it's in. Right, hang on.
Two.
Hang on. It's.
Yeah. Here we go. Oh. Oh wow. Oh. Choose outcome. Team funny.
Oof. Well, someone just got.
Someone just got some fucking windfall right there. Team funny wins.
Oh. Ouch. Or I'm just
24K.
Oh jeez, 24K.
It's a shame there's literally nothing for you to do with it.
Yeah, well, except for gambling more. We'll have more gambling events in the future.
Epic.
With this totally useless point.
Alright, but Sneaky.
Yeah.
2 minutes until Shark.
I know, I'm wrapping it up. This is a fucking story where this happened. And then he ends up in Salem. Apparently Salem's Jewish now and male.
Shalom.
Shalom.
My favorite country. Shalom.
Ozpin instead of Ozpin. His name is Ozpen. The tree. Aspen trees. Timon.
It's not that's Aspen, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm making the joke. Aspen.
Yeah, funny.
Also, Ozpin is dating Erza. And she's 8 months pregnant.
That's.
Wait, what? I don't know.
All right. Yeah, you know.
I said we're done. I thought I said we're done. Why are we continuing?
Because we're ending it here.
Thank you.
All right. right. Well, welcome, one and all, everyone that's joined us and stayed with us to this point. We now bid you a fond farewell. You can all get your assorted drinks. Drink yourself to sleep tonight with your assorted drinks that you, whatever you want. Because, gotta stay hydrated. Hydrated enough to forget what happened here tonight. Because, there is always more, and it always gets worse.